Met Your Father?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Hillary Duff's in it, so I have to watch it.
How'd you feel about it?
It's good.
It's okay.
I enjoy watching it.
Wait, is season 1 fully out?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only, 10 episodes?
Mm-hmm.
And that's my problem. That's why I won't say it's good. It's sitcom storylines. You really kind of need 20 episodes to kind of fill this out and like kind of get your whole story together. I feel they did a pretty good job for it being a 10 episode first season.
It was like a filler to see if people would be interested.
100%, and that's different because it's not on network TV. It's on Hulu. It's going straight to a streaming service. So it had to be a little bit differently worked. But I did enjoy it. I'm going to fully wait till I watch all of season 2 because I think it's supposed to be a 20 episode season.
Yeah.
To kind of fully like, all right, am I going to stick with this? Am I like kind of give like a full not review of it, but I feel like I gave it a full shot. You know,
and I mean they gave it a little twist where everyone has to guess who the person's who's the father.
Well,
the kids.
What they did was better than what they did with How I Met Your Mother. Was you are very beholden to like how you have to end the show and How I Met Your Mother because you didn't film Ted, you filmed the kids. And you had Bob Saget be the voice of Ted, which means your whole fucking ending of the show had to be based around the reaction of those children that you recorded in season 2, and this show is on season 9. What they're doing with How I Met Your Father, when they do the whole retell of the story, you're looking at Hillary Duff's character as a grown up, and she's talking to her kid like on a video call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, because you know why they're doing that, right?
Because that way you don't do the same mistakes you did in How I Met Your Father. You're not held to one ending of the show that you decided in season 1. You could change it based on how things develop throughout the show.
Yeah. I think it's because too, like, because this sound putting a little race in this, but we all know she ends up with that black guy. Cause obviously we see the kid's black. Oh, she ends up with the black guy. The black guy's still a valid contender in this race.
And you can still always do. She said the guy was in the bar that night.
Yeah.
That could be fucking anyone. That could be someone that you didn't see on camera.
Like we didn't even, spoiler alert, we didn't know Josh Peck was in that bar.
Exactly, and that's what I liked about that. Like they threw Josh Peck as a tease in there that he mentioned offhand, like, oh yeah, I was at the bar that night. And she mentioned like 3 episodes before, like, oh yeah, your father was in the bar that night. Mm-hmm. So it kind of throws in, you could kind of fuck with this story. You could change your ending. You're not locked into an ending now. You could figure this out as the show goes and kind of determine how you want to ultimately end it. Where after season 2 of How I Met Your Mother, they're like, no, we're locked into an ending. Robin's going to die. Or the mother's going to die. You're going to end it with Robin. It doesn't matter what we wrote in season 5, 6, 7, or 8. It all has to, at some point, come back to this. Where with this, they avoided that mistake.
I mean, no. Because he still could have ended up with someone else. It didn't necessarily have to be Robin.
But they recorded that whole part with the kids saying, like, the whole time you're talking about how you want to get with that Robin. You have the hots for that Robin. Like,
okay,
go be with her. The thing is, those kids were like 10 years older and looked totally different. So you couldn't re-record that part. You committed to that bit in season 2 when they stopped recording with the kids. And they had like a closed set. Only they were signed NDA agreements. Those kids knew the ending of that show the entire time.
They just weren't allowed to talk about it.
Exactly. So like they were able to avoid that with How I Met Your Father, and I think that was a better decision of how to do it.
Okay, question for you, because I mean I've only seen like half the first episode. So the big question I have is like, do they have a lot of the same characters? Do they split characters' personalities?
No, the characters are different for sure.
Characters are definitely different. It's kind of like a more updated version of what 20-year-olds kind of look like now, or late 20s.
And go through dating in today's 2021, 2022.
I just started rewatching like season 1 of How I Met Your Mother, and I'm like, fuck, this is 2005, 2004, 2003. Like,
I forget
shit is like 20 years ago. Like
how long that shit was running for.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been off the air for like 8 or 9 years, but it started 8 or 9 years before that. So I'm like, fuck, like things are totally fucking different today in the world than it was in season 1 of How I Met Your Mother. So it was cool. Like, okay, it's a little different, but it's not the same exact archetypes. Like, okay, this person, maybe you could say it's kind of like a Ted, but definitely it's not the same as Ted. It's just like, this might be like the main male love interest, maybe like, but
so
ultimately
has, like, the qualities.
A little bit, but it's not like identical. Like, oh, this is exactly that person. That person's a Barney. This person's Lily. They have a couple that's about to get married. Like, they have like engaged couple. They have a couple single people. They have relatives. So and it's a bigger cast.
That sounds a lot better. Oh, and it's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I think there's more people.
I think that'll help them out long term.
There's the couple, Hillary Duff, her roommate, the British dude. That one, Jesse, and his sister.
Yeah, so I think that's automatically at least two more characters. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it goes from like 5 to 7. So,
damn, that actually sounds pretty good.
So it's not, like I said, it's not terrible. It feels a little rushed at time because it's a 10 episode season.
Yeah,
but I think when it gets longer, it'll be pretty good. But like I said, it's still out. They could fuck it all up season 2, and it's just fucking trash. But
We'll see what happens.
Josh Peck was, I think, decent in it.
He was a good character in
Yeah.
it.
So getting Josh and ranking Josh, I think, wasn't a bad choice. And that's always a little funny too, because you have a fucking Hillary Duff losing McGuire from Disney Channel with fucking Josh and drinking Josh from
Fucking
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of cool. Like they do that.
The
That's pretty
crossover
sick.
you did not expect.
Yeah, exactly. Who would have fucking thunk that as like if you watch those shows as kids, like, yeah, they're gonna be love interest in some random show one day, like So it's not bad, but it's worth a watch.
Hold on,
It's
you
10
know
episodes.
what? No, let's put some more spec on Josh Peck's name. Who would have guessed the little fat kid from the Man the Show was gonna be?
Dude, honestly though.
Yeah.
honestly.
Who would have wrote? There's a show where the fat kid from the Amanda Show is gonna fuck Lizzie McGuire at one point.
Who would have thunk it?
I would not have put my money on that. I was not that much of a gambling child, but if I was, that was
30
not my bet.
30 years later, someone finally cashed in on that.
I wish it was me. Damn
Someone
it.
cashed in on that bet 30 years later. I told you it was gonna happen. A fat kid from one brand was gonna bang the hot chick on another brand.
That one stupid ass.
Remember the
casino
kid
that
of-
took that bet?
Remember that one? Remember the fat kid in a robe from Max Hebler's Big Room? Yeah, he fucks Lizzie McGuire in a TV show on Hulu. What the fuck's a Hulu? Don't worry.